Dun, 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 dun. It's that time here at Prodigy Real Estate. You excited, Keri? Once again, we're here.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have all the technical glitches we had in the last one.
Oh, my God,
We're actually stuffed in the corner.
Yeah.
We had a packed house.
That was a crazy
And
day.
our living situations here could get tight at times. So it's always interesting to kind of fit ourselves in the...
Yeah.
But anyway, it's an interesting time for real estate because Lord knows, doing stats for the last 13 years, and I'm starting to age myself. What I'm basically seeing is the craziness ensue with what happens in a market that lacks strong fundamentals, but has some really weird curves to it. So this is like a strange bird, as I've referenced a lot of things as strange birds. You've heard me say these things about strange birds. It's like the things that like this market's like the thing you'll kind of look at extra long when you go into the zoo. You kind of get that little extra. But we have some interesting things that have developed over the last month, and we're going to go over some of those numbers, right?
Yes.
We do see some improvements in certain things, but I'm going to get into the nuances because I think it's a tale of a lot of oddities, and I can't say that they're great in one respect, and even with the improvements and like where they are happening and versus where they aren't happening. But we're going to get into those numbers now. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to let's look at the amount of sales for the month. And
all right.
Don't you run over some of those numbers?
Yeah, for sure. So the sold number of houses for May is 316. Mm-hmm. It's actually up from last month, 23%, but it's down for the year, 13.7%.
13.7% down. Now, to kind of give you a basis for where these reports have come in over the last few months, is the 13.7% drop in year-over-year sold is starting to show some signs that that is slowing down. A couple of months we were talking about almost 30% drops in amount of sales. I think back in February we were around 40. Staten Island took a pretty good, sizable slap when it came to volume of sales. If anybody knows in the real estate business, volume of sales is almost as important as sales price, and that's not that has edged itself higher month over month, 23%, which is seasonally expected. I don't see anything that's out of line with just the seasonal expectations being, month over month. May is typically a bigger closing month, and we'll get into the bigger closings month, May, June, July, and then we kind of tail off a little bit in August and September, pick up a little bit in October, November, and then tail off back into what I call the real estate quiet season. And last season was quiet, if anybody knew what we were talking about. And you can go back in that. We still have these.
What?
I can't. Sometimes I just look over there. I just can't help but laugh. Anyway, we do these things on YouTube, so right, you can catch these things live on YouTube.
Yes.
No, it's a small office, so like everybody's little nuances kind of come through because it's like you can't really do anything in private here, including eat.
Yeah.
So,
we're not private.
Yeah, we're not private at all, right?
No.
Everything is right out in the open,
Yeah.
which isn't exactly good for me. Is it good for me to be out in the open like this?
You're
do
right.
Do I need to be in an enclosed cage?
You need your own
Do I need my own cage?
office.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. I need to kind of like really, but it's always entertaining. But So we were at these stats, and then
Yeah, the
and my eyes had to drift off for a second. But the stats for when he did the sold, which is down 13%, up 23% month over month. Seasonal, what's to be expected? The amount of year over year, 316 in line. I'm not too. I like the 316 number.
good number.
You know, for May, I do like it. I'd like anytime you're getting over the 300 mark. You know, it's not what it was a year ago. Obviously, we're heading into the fives. So, but it's definitely an improvement, and I'd say like 3 is a good benchmark to say things are kind of steadying out. As you get into 4, I would consider that more 400 sales on the island. I would consider that an acceleration upward. It means that the market's really starting to take trajectory higher. So for the most part, that's been relatively stable, but there are some things in there that we'll be watching over the next few months, and I'm not too convinced that these numbers are going to be, you know, depending on a few things, if these numbers will hold up in the coming months. But it does appear that the Fed rates have come down, and I'll get into a little bit of that in a minute. So what's the so let's get into those leading indicators, which is the days on the market and the month's inventory numbers.
Okay, so the days on the market is at 93 days. Last month it was 100, so it's down 7%. Year over year, last year was at 57 days.
Right.
And so now it's up 63.2% from last year.
Right. So the days on the market have increased significantly.
Yeah.
But again, we're starting to see, for the first time in a while, we're starting to see improvements here. There is some improvements here in those numbers. And I know that people kind of like, will say, you know, they seem like a slow market. I hate to say, this is where water levels, people's like the high water marks for people kind of like are used to those really like heated markets. And I think that at the end of the day, with heated markets, you kind of get like there's a certain exuberance about like irrational exuberance, and I went over that today with an agent, with irrational exuberance means and looks like. But the one thing that I will say is that the days on the market have come down 7% month over month, and that's a decent decline, So there has been some improvement here, and again, this is kind of topped off at about the 100-day mark. So it was the first time in almost like 2.5, 3 years that we actually went over 100 days on the market for sale. So and consequently, I mean, year over year, I mean, that's 50, so it was 57 days on the market just a year ago. But again, dropping, that's ridiculously good. And I think at one time I was in a market, I lived through 2008, and the days on the market used to be 156 days on the market.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If you're going to laugh and kind of like to give people a barrier, or like where my watermark was, that if you actually listed a house, you would not expect to close on it for a year.
Oh my.
So like if you listed it now, your closing day would be literally almost a year from the time you listed it.
That's insane.
Yes, and that existed for a while, and that's why a lot of people. It was just a strange market. That's not what you have in here, because at that time there was almost 4,000 houses on the market, 3,500 houses on the market. Now there's nothing really too much out there, and that's because all the parameters for selling based on what sellers' equity positions are, and the rates that they're in is making inventory really shrink considerably from a a year ago, right? So the year over year, you want to just give them the year over year on the
Inventory?
on the inventory number of listings?
Number of listings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, that's this one.
Okay. Sorry, there's so much.
I'm gonna give you the yellow. The yellow.
The year over year is down 12.4%.
Yeah. So
It's 1,400 now. This month.
1,400. Just to kind of give you a little bit, it's less than that. I think in these monthly sales, it doesn't count for like houses that are in acceptance, or some of the reporting here actually comes out of Brooklyn. So some of the Brooklyn listings. So it's estimated to be just on Staten Island alone, probably about I would say about 1,100 houses.
Oh.
So we're down. So while home sales have stepped up, inventory has not. This is further putting a squeeze on the market. Okay, so if you're a buyer out there, you are definitely going into a June market that definitely has fewer homes for sale. And I'm going to tell you this, guys: if you're a home buyer, and I understand about rates and things like that, the interesting thing is what's going to turn this market around, and what rate is if rates fall and like these homeowners start seeing like more activity, they're actually going to feel like the same buyers that were waiting for things to fall are going to be left out in the cold again. And I think that there's a lot of pent up demand out there, because it just seems to be at this point the pent up demand that's there. Time brings up pent up demand. So, and what makes it different from the previous like downturn in real estate till now is you don't have the financial distress situations that homeowners have now. A matter of fact, in the last FOMC meeting, about when they were talking about the economic situation of the country, consumer spending they actually said that consumer spending averted like us shrinking our GDP and going into recession. So consumers still have money, and I think that everybody who's buying needs to pay attention to the fact that defaults, although they're up with the rate increases, they're within line. What would you expect? So what I'm seeing is that most home buyers now are definitely unsure. But when they get sure, it's going to be when it's the old, a flock of geese, right?
Yeah.
There's one person leads the pack, and everybody else kind of follows. Yeah. So it's definitely one of those things that home buyers need to pay attention to, which is, are we going to see any more dip in real estate prices? And it's been predicted 1,000 times. We've said it here before. I went over this before. I've said this in other, when we've done these other lives. People don't understand that inventory, the law of supply and demand is not based on what you hear on YouTube. Okay? And let's get that clear. And I think people, they look at prognosticators they look at numbers, and some of the dynamics, interest rates being X, Y, Z. There's always going to be people who need to buy a home.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Do you need to buy a home yet?
Not yet.
We're going to get you into a house next year. That's the goal. Next year.
I don't
right?
know.
I'm going to ask everybody in the room if they're going to buy a home next year. Maybe. But the big thing is that what I'm trying to say is home buyers are out there, even though they're being cautious. What they're being cautious is an ever-growing crowd. So time in this market is leading to pent-up demand. So if this continues at this pace and rates do come down, you are going to go back to the frenzied buying cycle that we saw before. I definitely starting to see that, barring any other significant events, And I'm not telling you this is because the economy is great. But the problem is that with inflation, inflated dollars are worth less.
Yes.
So what's happening is assets like our homes are absorbing the inflation rates that we see. You know, we're up there. 4, 5. Now it was the last report is at, I think it was just about 4.9, just under 5 from the FOMC meeting. I hate to say this, Joe. Could you just do me a favor and under that thing, this is my report. I want to see that one thing. I left it. You got to reach around the back. The big long one. There you go.
Oh.
I need that.
Yes.
Production staff to the rescue. Get her a cape.
Yay.
Yes, and folks, they make this artificially. Well, actually, no, you don't. I actually made this artificially.
No.
This is perfect. This is. I love it. It's for the blind. You have blind like me almost, right? You have contacts in today?
I do. I can't see without contacts or glasses.
Are your contacts as good as your glasses?
Yeah.
Okay, so your contacts are as good as your glasses.
Yeah.
And you think you can see better. How many hands and fingers I have up?
5.
Anyway, I'm just teasing it right now. But the big thing is let's get into. I'm going to get into this for a little bit, and then we're going to get back to some stats because I do want to go over. The Fed has decided to leave interest rates unchanged as of the last report. Now, which is the first smart thing that we've seen in a while, and I thought they should have did it before. I think now this is really what's going on with the Fed rate. Even though inflation has still remains stubbornly high, they feel it's slowing enough. And there's a balancing act that has to be performed here. And one of the things about the balancing act that needs to be performed is, can they stem inflation without causing too much damage to the economy? So two of the things that really are in play here is the banks that are having difficulty keeping funding. The rate increases are really taking a toll on them. So they're not the ability to get deposits are being strained, and they're any brink. So a lot of these banks are holding treasury bonds on the books as a way to keep a secure investment vehicle for depositors in case they need to sell assets. One of the assets that a bank keeps is treasuries.
Yes.
Treasuries.
Yes.
So the big thing is that they don't want to raise rates to the point where their treasuries become worthless, and then you have another banking crisis develop. So there's a balancing act that has to be performed here, and they're on that balancing act. I'm sure they would have wanted to raise rates based on the latest report, but let's put it this way. I've said this before, and I think we've touched on this. You're not going to see prices improve. There are too many things with the market, and I've said it before, said it on other lives, understanding economics a bit and understanding where things stand. I think people are going to really see prices, if they're going to stay stubbornly high and probably likely remain stubbornly high. Because of the fact of the balance sheets, personal balance sheets, and the federal government balance sheets are so high that any change in interest rates could be catastrophic. So it's like they're taking the approach that even a higher rate of inflation is worse than the alternative, which is massive defaults. So they're like, this is the balancing act that's taking place here, and they have some concerns about like how much the economy could absorb when there's so much outstanding debt that needs to be repaid. Having rates rise a bit can be catastrophic in a lot of instances.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So going to those fine establishments you go to in the evenings. Is the drinks maybe a little bit more expensive?
Oh yeah.
Are they? What is it to go out now? Like, what would be a typical? Let's just hear. We're gonna hear inflation from a Gen Z. So what is it like? How much? Like, if you said you went out on a Friday, what does a Gen Z spend?
So if I'm going with my friends, like a typical night out, I'd say that I would spend maybe like 60. But because we like go back and forth. Me and my friends are like, we'll get you a drink, I'll get you a drink.
That's not too bad actually. $60.
But it could be like just like me and my sister. I'll spend like 60 the whole night.
So 60 the whole night. Yeah, there's an open office. They could answer the phone. This is like a newsroom. This is like the 70s. The 70s, you know, in the back. That's, you know, they don't remember. I don't think you guys remember back in the day, like the old newsrooms. The phones used to ring in the back, and they used to do the reporting, and they kind of run the same kind of operation.
I've seen that in movies.
Yeah. Yes, I've seen that on TV. As a matter of fact, I think some of the news things, like it's funny because I think 1010 Wins still plays like the typewriters in the background.
Where?
1010 Wins News is an AM news station, and like they usually they leave typewriters as the ambient sound to every report. So if you go on 1010
That's actually
on AM, I just remember you got to check on that. I'm gonna have Joe check on that if you can still hear the typewriter in the back on 1010 Wins News, because it's hysterical. It really is. Because a lot of old timers watch that, and it's like really like, you know.
I would like that.
It's like, yeah. But anyway, let's give you the rundown on everything else. We're getting off topic. So let's get into this. They're not out of the woods with rate hikes. I think this is like a wait and see approach. They're going to see how the economy responds over the next quarter. There can be another raise in interest rates prior to the next meeting, depending on how they feel inflation's accelerating or decelerating. I don't think, but I think we're pretty safe here. She's playing this thing. Of course. Are you having fun over there? She has to make herself known. Don't we won't forget about you, Joe. Anyway, the big thing is that I would say that they are expecting the GDP, which is decelerated the last couple of months, going to about 1%. 1% growth which means that I think there's no doubt about it. People could say, I don't know where they're getting these numbers from. We're in a recession currently, so there's no doubt about it. Consumer spending has pulled back considerably, even though it's the main reason for avoiding the recession. Mm-hmm. I think it's changing a bit. There's definitely less consumer spending, and the unemployment rate is, I don't know where they get their numbers from. But from what I'm hearing is that it's rough. Right? Isn't that true? We have Jessica here. She's our intern. She's telling me it's a rough job market. Is that true, Jess? Yes. Okay, there you go. Right from we get it right from the street here. But it's a rough labor market, and with ChatGPT, it may get a little bit. It may get even worse.
Yeah, scared for that. Well, not me.
You're starting to learn it a little bit. No?
Yeah, it helps.
It helps. It helps my son too. We know it helps a lot of people. You don't even know if you're even talking to people anymore. Are they really that smart? Or are they typing into ChatGPT?
Yeah.
You can fake your intelligence now. Even though it's artificial. You could be artificially intelligent. It's kind of like everything else in the world, right? There's that new filter out that everybody uses. What's that? The new one that makes you look like a star? I don't know what it is. I keep seeing these stupid things.
Oh, Facetune?
No, not Facetune. It's on. It's on. It's on TikTok.
It makes you look like a star.
Yeah, like not star. They like make you look like this person. You know, it's like.
Oh, yes.
You know that one, right?
Yes.
Come on, Keri.
I do.
She plays with the ones on Snapchat. I'm not into Snapchat at all.
Snapchat
We have it, so we have an account.
Yes.
So check it out. Check us out on
Subscribe,
Snapchat.
Add us.
Yes, at us. Is that what it is? Is it at Prodigy already? Or?
It's
Do we have actually a
Prodigy
handle?
NYNJ.
Oh, Prodigy MYNJ on Snapchat.
Yes.
And JoJo will answer you. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just a joke. Anyway. We won't. If we get indiscriminate snaps like now, because like, is Keri gonna be answering these Snapchats?
No.
Yes, we don't make any requests here for any other thing but business purposes. Don't even try it. So let's get to the next thing. Come on, we have to have a little fun. To the stats. You got to make it lively, you know? You got to make this entertaining.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're an easy person to make things entertaining. Not as much as some other people that sit here in that chair, but...
Yeah, I'm a little more...
She's a little more scared.
Yeah,
and like,
scared,
you know,
shy.
but, you know... She's
modest. She's modest.
She's modest. You see, Joe just has to... She'll just interject in the middle of the podcast. Why don't you just jump in? You want a chair?
Okay. Move over, Andrew.
See? There you go. Always gotta be a little piece. You gotta leave a little mark somewhere.
It's not a bad thing.
No? Well... forget it. Anyway, let's go back to these stats and where we think things are going to be going. So we got into sold. I want to go into the average sale price, the median average sale price, which is currently at the median sale price.
Medium sale price.
Yes, I think it's
that is.
You got it.
Yes, 650,000.
About 650,000. Those are 3 zeros, Keri. So it is 6. You're right. No,
okay. Yes.
She told me she wasn't the math person.
I'm not. I wasn't.
Well, it's funny because we don't have, like, it's not some of those things they teach us, like how many zeros does it make 650,000? You have to write it out in thousands, 650,000. So if you wrote it out that way, you probably... That's the way you need to write it.
1,000,
yes.
I spelt it out. That would help, probably. My brain was turning reading this. Okay. It's up 4.2% from last month.
Good news! That is one of the interesting things in this report. Month over month, the median home sales price has risen. So, I just want to make this clear before everybody gets too excited about what this means. This is not a trend yet. Trend is we look at 3 months, we look at a quarter. If the quarter goes this way and it continues to tick upward, I think we may be at the bottom. I said, and I have it on record, you can go check. I said we were at the bottom of the last report. I said I believe we were at the bottom as of the last report. So we kind of hit the bottom, but it's not based on what you think. It's based on the fact that the amount of inventory on the market is very, very low. So that keeps decelerating, and there's really no end in sight for that. I don't see that changing. If rates come down to 5.5, which is what's predicted, and I think I did it with Joe last week. We talked about with predictions for the mortgage market, which was the Mortgage Bankers Association had rates going down to as low as 5.2. I don't think it's going to get there. Maybe 5.8 we can get there. I think 5.8 will be the benchmark where sellers will begin to switch up. They'll be willing to make the change quicker or jump into the market. But for buyers, if you're waiting for that, you're foolish, because it's going to create once those rates go down to 5.8 based on what I call the pent up demand. It's going to be the pent up demand is going to give home buyers a fit. They're going to have a fit. It's happened. New Jersey's we do sell New Jersey. I'm going to teach Keri some things on New Jersey stats next, so she's going to actually do both at some point.
Fun.
Yes. Get ready. You're going to have some Jersey stuff in there, but New Jersey is very, very robust. I mean, we just listed a house. It's multiple offers and over list price. A couple on Staten Island recently, but the parameters. I'm yawning.
Red Bull.
Jeez, Red Bull. You're right. I got to stop. I'm only sleeping 5 hours a night, 5.5 hours. It's bad. So yeah, it's bad, folks. I don't sleep much.
So bad.
I know it is.
Not good.
I don't want to get any older. Man, I need my beauty. That's why I say beauty sleep, right?
Yeah, for real. That's why I sleep like
Gotta get
12.
those bags from under my eyes. Oh goodness. Well, anyway, the big thing that the report does have is that the amount of solds have increased. So I'm going to give up just basically. Oh, one other thing is there is still one deficit. So you don't have to kind of hustle around for it. It's the pending sales, which are down 10.1% year over year. But it's up 7.8% month over month. Pending sales is definitely a good leading indicator here. With pending sales at 414, that is pretty good. That's pretty good. 414, when we get 414 in the pending, it's pretty good. I mean, I'd like to see somewhere around 5, 6, but 4, we're holding our own here. So it's not terrible. So we need to see, oh God, I keep doing this. Yeah, I'll get yelled at later. 414. Stop laughing over there. 414 was the amount of pending sales year over year. Month over month is 345 sales, which is 7.8% increase. Keri likes to dance in the chair. These chairs are not the most comfortable.
Oh God,
No?
they're uncomfortable. Yeah.
Are they horribly uncomfortable?
Yes.
Do I need to put it into I need to get a request into?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully the mic isn't picking up the little chorus on this. If you see something fly across, it means that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't even. So it's the pending sales definitely are showing that it's still a little bit weak, but I think it's in line. So, and I think that's going to pretty much give us a rundown of. You have any questions about this? She's obviously not.
Me? You
Good.
answered all my questions.
Did I?
Yes.
You were the easiest interview I've had. So how's the home tours going?
They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really nice. We have
Do we have any new home tours that you particularly like?
I loved
The one in New Jersey. Right?
in Jersey. I sent that one to my parents.
Oh yeah.
Well, I sent out look into this house, because I liked it a lot.
Look into this house. You actually wanted to move there?
I would have.
You know,
I
it's
would
funny.
have.
I hear so many things about New Jersey, and I know when it comes to employees and They go to one place in New Jersey, they're already in love. So
It's nice
for you
there.
now, it's in South Brunswick. I'm not quite there, but in JoJo, it's Milltown. Milltown, I know.
You like Milltown?
Me? I don't know. What would be my? What do you think would be mine?
Florida.
Not Florida. Here in New Jersey, if I was to pick a place. You guys had freaking drone videos, right? Give me a name.
What's the one with the brick?
Oh
Brick,
God.
New Jersey?
Brick. If Godzilla's there, then he'll
Wait, what's the
probably
one?
be there.
Right?
Guys. No, it is not. Brick?
Brick is nice.
Yeah. No,
It
it
is
is. Brick
nice.
is nice. It is.
They-
I was just so you know, there's gonna be a video up. Not the, Brick. I love Brick. It is nice. And Brick actually, I was at the beach. So it's funny. Brick has a little slice of the shore, like really on the water, and I actually got a shot. There's a nice video coming out of the very coastal Brick, which is on the Barrier Island, and it's really nice. So Brick is, yeah. I just did one though.
It's spring like.
Nobody watches my. See that she's closer. It's Manteloking.
Oh.
Jeez.
You just did a
You
video.
know what? They don't even watch my TikToks.
Yeah.
They don't even care to watch it's like if I did 3 TikToks in a row on Manteloking, I think that's like a good
That's your-
indication. That, Rumson, right? Rumson's gorgeous.
Deal?
Deal.
Deal.
What's the deal? Yes, that place is spectacular. Those are all on our YouTube channel.
Yes, check it out.
Yeah, check it out. We're gonna have Keri narrating those soon. Are you? No. Anyway, but the stats. I'm gonna give you a rundown of the stats because it's like just to kind of highlight. Things are up overall, 4% on the average. You shouldn't get excited. That's not a trend. It's an anomaly more than it is a trend at this point. We'll see if that continues. Good luck, because I don't see, based upon what I see, I still think that the fundamentals of the housing market still are more in play. So if you have those locational-based issues, you're still going to be subject to a little bit more downward pressure. And the ones that are actually in good, like the locations are good and everything, all things being equal, you can still see above list price offers. So we need to pay attention to that. The biggest thing is current days on the market has dipped under 100, stands at 93. That is a 63% increase from last year, but down 7% month over month. Month's inventory is currently at a 4.37. Not much is out there. This is not indicative of a buyer's market at all. So when you need to be approaching 6, we're at 4.37 on the year over year. In May it was 4.43, and we definitely when you get over that 6 number is when is the balancing act between sellers and buyers market historically, based on my analysis of things. Everybody will have a different opinion, but that's what it is. Number of listings down. So we're definitely, that's indicative of the month's inventory. And again, one other thing is the sales to list ratio.
Oh,
You just want to hit that one.
yes. So sale to list ratio is at 94.5 right now. It is actually up from last month, 0.6%.
That's good.
Yes.
So that means people are getting a little bit closer to their ask price. Here's where the difference is in this. Again, the devil's in the details here. The average sale to list price, although up, they are corresponding to drops in prices as a secondary means to get that number down. So if you would actually do their original price, it's not up. So it's based on the current market price, which may have been reduced already, and most likely has. We're seeing a lot more price reductions, so I would not take this number and say, oh, I'm jumping up for joy that things are turning around there either. But I'm cautiously optimistic that That bottom is definitely trying to show itself. How that moves forward is a different story. But sales to list ratios last year was 98%, 98.8, down a bit. In New Jersey, it's over 100 still, over 100%. Still,
Really?
houses still getting over list price. Yep,
Wow.
price right. And we're seeing that. We're getting those. We're getting sellers over list price in New Jersey. That's why we're the best company for selling in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Keri's out there showing the best of the shore and everything down south. They're beautiful places,
Oh,
and
yeah.
really nice. So it's worth a check out. So a couple other things. Note, tomorrow we have another live coming at you, and that's always entertaining too.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you actually watch them, or you just pandering?
No, I watched them.
We're gonna put Keri on the spot. What did I say last week at minute?
At minute. Yeah. I analyzed them.
There's gonna be a quiz in the next live. We're gonna see how much is being watched. But anyway, that's what we have for today. Keri is. We're gonna give her shots before she does the next live, so she feels 100% comfortable.
No.
It's like, it'll be entertaining.
All right.
We don't advocate that here. Anyway, just, guys, come on. You're still laughing? Anyway, it's funny, but maybe not. Let's just forget it. I need to go. Let's call that. Let's call that a wrap.
Yeah.
Let's not get any further into this. Okay. So today, again, it was a rather straight up report. Nothing too blaring. So let's call it an afternoon. We thank you for watching. Tune in a month from today, approximately. And you'll have our stats for
June. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So Keri, don't run so fast.
Okay.
I'm gonna anchor her down. She's in pain. Anyway, if you have a question about what any of these stats mean and looking for a little bit more insights, we'll give them to you. So please give us a shout out, and we'll help you with that. All right. So Keri, you can wrap this up.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye, everyone. Oh.
You gonna do the rap? The rap? I'm gonna get a rap. Get a little wrap her up in like a. That's the rap.
Okay.
There's too many people. I'm not doing this with anybody in the room. There's nobody coming in the room anymore. That's it. You're definitely out. Next time, you're gonna stand outside watching the window.
We do these when
Yeah.
no one else.
Yeah. Because she's sitting there. She's literally eating she's eating. While I'm eating, I'm seeing about a 6.5-inch French fry. That looks like it blocks the whole light from the window. I was sitting here watching this, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" I was like, "Is she eating like a rattlesnake?" And it's like she's like this in the window, and I can see from the corner of my eye. I'm like, just figure anything to distract,
Yeah.
Is it on purpose?
No.
Okay.
The fact that she had to scream that out means that it is. See, the best bet, and here's the best bet: if it doesn't apply, say nothing. That's the rule. Okay, guys? So if it applies, you you definitely you're gonna call yourself out when you respond. No, it wasn't me.
Yes.
Everybody who's guilty always is the first one to yell out. It wasn't them.
Yeah, yeah.
You notice that?
I do.
Yeah. See.
All
There you
right.
go.
Well,
Well, yeah.
bye.
There you go, Keri. You can shut it off now.
All
That's my
right.
piece for the day. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you next week. Tomorrow.
I'll talk to you next